5E STEM unit presentation by Irma Perez. This unit that I made was about light and sound waves. The unit overview for light and sound exploration. The unit introduces kindergartners to the basic concepts of light and sound. Through engaging hands-on activities, students will explore how light helps us see objects and how sounds are created through vibrations. Some of the standards that I used for this lesson are the Next Generation Science Standards, which forces and motion, which pushes and pulls, can have different strategies and directions, and PS2B, which is type of interaction. Objects can be seen in light, if available, and light can be generated and bent and bounced around and blocked. The Common Core standards that were used for ELA for students were literacy with prompting support, describing construction between two individuals, events, or ideas. And the other one is for combination of drawing, dictating, and writing, and putting information about the topic that we learned. General learning objectives for kindergarten. By the end of the unit, students will be able to explore how light helps us see objects and understand how light can come from different sources, which will be measured by the completion of their activities. By the end of the unit, students will explore the concept that sound is created through vibrations and discover how we hear different sounds measured by completing to the listening walk activity. The next one is, by the end of the unit, students will make connections between science concepts and their everyday experiences with light and sound, which will be measured by their completion of activities. By the end of the unit, students will engage with age-appropriate literature, which introduces basic concept of light and sound, demonstrating their understanding by creating a shadow show presentation. ELD learning goals. ELD objectives will focus on introducing and reinforcing basic science vocabulary related to light and sound. They will emphasize integrate language skills such as listening, speaking, and basic writing to enhance comprehension and communication of simple scientific concepts. They will support the development of basic cooperation and communication skills through group activities and discussions. And they will focus on building language proficiency in context of age-appropriate scientific contexts. Design progress. My design progress for the lesson started with me thinking about what the lesson was going to be about, what would get the students more engaged, and what would have them learn something about what they normally see and do in their everyday life. Which would be to get them to understand how light and sound works and how sound waves are created for us to be able to hear, and how the light bounces off of objects for us to be able to actually see things. I initially started looking through many lesson plans through Teachers Pay Teachers just to get an idea of what to do lesson-wise, and went online, looked at different web pages, different lessons, basically, about how to teach kindergartners about light and sound, and if it was even possible to get kindergartners to understand. My informal assessment was basically just to have the teacher walk around while the students are doing their activities, their hands-on activities, while they're working in groups and asking questions and make sure they're understanding of the lesson and the unit in general. Self-assessment would be for students to write in their journals, just to get feedback on what they were able to learn. And for formal assessment is where students demonstrate their understanding by creating either a PowerPoint presentation, a poster board, or the shadow show theater or some kind of activity to demonstrate their understanding of the unit. STEM integration. The way that I was able to integrate STEAM into the unit on light and sound was by incorporating other elements besides science. Like students could count the different light sources that they used. They also used English and literature as we were reading books to go along with the lessons. They had to write a reflection on what they learned, and they did hands on activities where they also included either counting or writing. Successes and challenges. Some of the successes that I found was that I was able to find a lot of activities that could have been used and a lot of books that correlated with my unit that I chose. And I was able to find a lot of really fun activities that can be used in the classroom for students, like the listening walk, which also came with a book, where you would have students, your class in general, go out into the playground and walk around, have a list or a paper, and write down, or a checklist, and write down what they were able to hear during their listening walk. And was it loud? Was it low? And just write about anything that they heard. Um, there was also activities where um, we talked about how shadows are made through light by using mirrors, using flashlights, talking about natural light, artificial light, and the different tones of sounds. Some of the challenges that I also came across were being able to find proper assessments, I guess, to do, and also at first trying to figure out exactly what the lessons were going to be about and just the breakdown of them and how to integrate STEAM into the lessons. That one was a little bit more difficult. But overall, I really enjoyed creating this unit, and I feel like I was able to learn more about how to teach certain things and how to be open to changing a lesson to accommodate students and how to make it so that everybody can be included in the unit and in the activities. Thank you.